How many of you that are providers in the health and wellness space or are patients of a functional medicine provider have heard about the Dutch test? Serious question. How many of you have had it done without having hormones drawn in your blood work? How many of you as providers have ordered the Dutch test without ordering hormones in the blood work? How many of you have had a Dutch test or ordered a Dutch test if your client's cholesterol is less than 180? How many of you have tested DHEA in the blood work before you have tested with the Dutch test? The Dutch test explains where the hormones are at, yes, and it's great for a salivary cortisol, sure, but you can order the salivary cortisol part separately. You don't need to do the hormone part. It's also a very, very, very expensive hormone test, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have a cholesterol of at least 180, if your DHEA is low, and you don't have a proper functioning gut. I had a 29-year-old who was told she was menopausal come in to see me, and a Dutch test was recommended. But her hormones and her cholesterol were completely tanked. I was the third opinion, and honestly, she didn't need a Dutch test. She was 29 years old. She hadn't had a normal period in 8 months, and her hormones on lab work were tanked. Her DHA was tanked, and her cholesterol was tanked. Thyroid was tanked. Vitamin D tanked. So we know her hormones aren't working. Why would we do the Dutch test? It doesn't matter what pathway they're going down if they're non-existent. Does that make sense? With all of that stuff being tanked, I also know her cortisol is going to be tanked. I don't need the Dutch test to tell me that. I can just listen to her and look at all this other stuff and go, oh shit, she's in crisis. It turns out that you can help your clients without all the special testing. I can help mine without all the special testing. Started working with this woman in September. She has now had 3 28-day normal monthly cycles. 29 years old. She was told she was in menopause. Her hormones are balancing out, and she has had 3 normal monthly cycles. I haven't run a single special test on her. We have just done traditional, simple blood work. And I had a conversation with her. If you can't see the basics in the lab work, if you can't understand that you need to know if hormones are even there to test in the Dutch test, you shouldn't be running tests at all. If you are someone who has been told that your hormones are not working the way they're intended and no one has run traditional blood work on you and they recommend a $650 Dutch test, I would say, I want the basic lab work done first. Because it can make a big difference in whether or not you get information out of that $650 test or whether you suffer through just somebody else running a test because they don't know what to do with you and they're still throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Back up like a year ago, I had another client come to me that was told that she had PCOS, and she was told a bunch of stuff about her cycle and that all of her anxiety had to do with her cycle, and they wanted to run a Dutch test. We did some basic lab work, looked at her lab work and went, oh, your liver's not doing what it's supposed to. Like, all of her liver enzymes were sky high. Your liver processes your hormones. If the liver's not working right, the hormones aren't going to be right. So why are you running the Dutch tests? We already know there's a problem. Let's fix one problem first and then see what happens with the hormones. We did that for that client. Normal cycles, anxiety goes away, bloating and gas goes away, because she could actually digest food again, because believe it or not, your liver plays a role in digestion of food because it's what produces your bile that gives it to the gallbladder to tell the gallbladder to release it when it's time in digestion. Yes, special testing can come in handy when we see a big problem that we can't discern in the simple blood work. But it should not be our primary line of defense when a client walks in our door. If you're interested in having somebody take a look at your blood work, or you need to get blood work done and you're not in the state of New York, New Jersey, or Pennsylvania, I can get that done for you and get it evaluated and get you on your road to a plan to help you start feeling better. All you have to do is reach out to me in the DMs, and I will work on helping you.